that Nigeria has failed or is a failing nation, and that the present contraption we have is old, decrepit, and not working. This country, we must be careful in talking about its indissolubility and indivisibility. Its coming together itself was almost like an historical mistake. It was on the 8th of January 1897 when one young lady called Miss Flora Louisa Shaw gave the name Nigeria to her. A British journalist, Niger area, the area around that River Niger. Don't forget that Western powers tried to write history for us by telling us that Mungo Park discovered the River Niger at New Busa, Kainji. Whereas when he came there, he met the natives drinking the water and taking their bath there. Yet he discovered it.
Use your sense.
That young lady wrote that article on the 8th of January 1897, and she was later to marry the man called Lord Lugard, Lord Frederick Lugard, the man who amalgamated Lagos colony, the southern and northern protectorates, to found what you call Nigeria today on the 1st of January 1914.
Pay attention. Your history.
Since then, Nigeria has been yearning for nationhood. How many of us know that Nigeria was first owned and ruled by a company called Royal Niger Company?
You created Nigeria. You created Nigeria to defraud and impoverish us. That is the reason why it was created. To make ordinary people poor. To make their lives miserable. There was no Nigeria until Frederick Lugard came. There was a company called Royal Niger Company. What we considered our lands to them to do is to trade. We never gave them the permission to form a country. We go to any court of law and we win that very case. Can anybody show me?
We are going to win it.
How did the British come in the first place? They came to trade and they brought us religion. Yes. From trading, from going to buy tobacco snuff, they entered into ShopRite to go and start doing shopping without paying for it.
This
Royal Niger Company. I was named after a company, a British company. Maybe not UAC. Maybe they should call this place UAC or ACOA. Then we know. Royal Niger Company, from which came your Nigeria that you have.
And ruled by a company called Royal Niger Company between 1886 and 1890. And that this company now sold Nigeria to the British government for £865,000. That's about 735 naira was what your country was sold by the Royal Niger Company to the British government. Before then, Mr. Chairman, sir, I didn't forget Professor Nebo, the incoming president, very cerebral professor we have. Before then, we had city-states, people who were already independent. We had the Oyo Empire, the Kanu Bonu Empire, we had the Ife civilization, we had the Benin Empire. Remember the role of the great Oba Oboramin Ogbaise, who beat the British with bare knuckles in 1897, which led to the British Benin punitive expedition. We had great figures. Nana of Ichekiri, King Jaja of Opobo, Moremi, the Hausa city-states, the Igbo city-states, before Lord Lugard amalgamated us. but without looking into our peculiar nuances. So when Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe in 1952 told Tafawa Ahmadu Bello, the Sadowna of Sokoto, in trying to see how we can cement Nigeria together, I will have written a book about Nigeria not being one because we don't have a single country like you have the British and the Welsh and the Irish in this path to Nigeria freedom. Zik told Ahmadu Bello, let us forget our differences. Ahmadu Bello gave a very poignant and true answer. He said, no, Zik, we cannot forget our differences. You are Igbo, you are a Christian, and you are an Easterner. I am Fulani, I am a Muslim, and I am a Northerner. We should recognize our differences and then see how we can understand ourselves. That was a beautiful reply. But all of them were worried about the fact that Nigeria was not one country, which I still dare say till today remains the situation. When the first military coup took place in this country, I'm sorry, before I give solutions, I normally like to give background, because it is the problem we have, and Peter the Rock will agree with me. Most of the problems we have is that they had even removed history from our syllabus. So we do not know where we are coming from. The Oyibo man made the car, the vehicle, to have a large windscreen in front so that you can see into the future. But he also makes a very little mirror by the side of the window so that you can peer into the past behind to know what is going on. If you don't have a past, you can't have a present. If you don't have a present, you can never dream of a future. So that is why when I speak, many a time, I peer a little into the past so as to see how and why we miss it.
All right, wonderful people. All right, great people of Biafra. I hope every one of you listening to this wonderful lecture from our brother, a senior advocate. A senior advocate. You know why I bring this thing to our people is for them to understand. And I keep on saying this to our people. If you don't know the root of your problem, there is no how you can solve it. That is exactly what our brother repeated here. If you don't know your past, how are you going to know your future? The senior advocate, Mike Ozekhome, S-A-N, San, a senior one for that matter, is telling you who you are, telling you how Nigeria was created, telling you what our problem is, that we are not one people. I have been saying this, but some of you can't even understand. You will come out and begin to tell me that diversity is your strength. I have said it down with that number. When you 2 by 2 or what the person is. I hope you heard what this our brother said. Mike Ozekhome, son, a senior advocate. You know why I bring out his video is for you people to see and understand. There is a lot of people know the problem of that contraption. Disintegration is the solution. Nigeria is your problem. Let me introduce myself because I don't want to say so much. All right, wonderful people, freedom fighters, lovers of freedom, great people all over the world. You are welcome once again on IPOB Rapture Media under the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Here I am. I always set the record straight. My name is Mazi, known as the Biafran Child, the general. I always stand on the truth. I'll always bring you authentic information a authentic intel, there is no how you can dispute it, except you lack ability to reason. I am not the one that's saying this. We also heard the voice of our leader as we couple the video together. So you will understand that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu always know what he's talking about. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is telling you your future and your past so that you can be able to, to find a way to get yourself away from these shenanigans, all this enslavement that we are into. Now you understand it. A senior advocate is telling you, without regard, there is nothing like Nigeria. And when they came, we did not give them any permission. They came as a trade. They were trading. You see how much they sold your country. That Nigeria wasn't, every time I told you that Nigeria is not a nation. Nigeria is not a country. Nigeria is just a mainstream business that created by British people to trade. But the one thing about it today, they have already removed everything from your history. They don't teach you history. That is the reason why you don't even know who you are. You don't know, because if you don't know where you're coming from, how will you know where you're going to? That is why we're here trying to make you understand things that you don't know. That the problem of that contraption is that we are not one people. The same Mike Ozekhome said, let my people go. So do you think that this man don't know what he's talking about? Do you now understand that the people, the senior, not all those intellectuals we have that don't even know their right from their left. We are talking about a senior advocate that is telling you how Nigeria come about. There is none of our ancestors that were there, signed, put a signature that we want to be one people. No, we don't want to be, because we are not. He counted a lot of people that they have been existing in that territory before they came and amalgamated us together, put oil and water together. And you heard what he said about Zeke. That is why when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is telling you about Zeke, that is why sometimes when I see all these people speaking PP grammar, believe you me, whenever I walk, anytime you see me in a meeting and I see all those people speaking PP grammar, I always exit myself, because when people speak too much grammar, they knows nothing. They can't even, compose. They are there trying to crime things that they are going to speak out from their mouth so that they will say, this man is half this level. These people knows nothing. They knows nothing. All this intellectual in Igbo land, in Biafra land, in coastal plus hinterland, they are all intellectual. They knows nothing. This is the real man we are talking about this time around. He told you, he said it to us now, who we are, how Nigeria come to being amalgamated. Are we a country before? The answer is no. He told you what Zeke did. Zeke was calling Ahmadu Bello, telling him, let's forget about our differences. Let us join together. The man told him no. That is why I told you people that Zeke, he went to school, and his school is just waste of time. Why Ahmadu Bello is in the northern part of Nigeria building, trying to, for their own. Awolowo in Yoruba land, Oduduwa, are there creating his own, trying to give his own people free education, working in his place, make his people feel happy. Zeke is there fighting for the whole Nigeria. You see the stupidity we are talking about. Are you now getting the idiocy that we are talking about? That is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is telling you that Zeke knows nothing. And believe me, he knows nothing. Why other people are there fighting for their own people? Zeke is there, instead of him to fight for Biafran people, he's there fighting for the whole Nigeria. That is why he be able to tell Ahmadu Bello, let's forget our differences. Ahmadu Bello told him, no. You are an Easterner, an Igbo man, a Christian. I am a Northerner, a Muslim. We are not one people. There is no how we can forget our differences, because we are not one people. The man makes it clear. But because of the doubt, because of lack of understanding, because he lacked ability to understand that we are not one people, you are pushing like exactly what our people are doing today. You know that Nigeria don't want you. They hate you with passion. You are there pushing yourself into them for them to recognize you. That is why you will remain slave forever in the hands of Fulani. You have heard it. And I want you people to circulate this video so that it will get to all these intellectuals we have, that the senior advocates have spoken. Good day, and make sure you do the needful.